I I've been muted this entire time, it seems. Wow, that's like the worst. So rip rip mute. Okay, well, I'm just gonna have to do that introduction again. Uh, I should always check to make sure my mic is on. So that mic was off, which is why I was muted. Well, now all my energy's gone. I was all there doing everything, getting all hype and stuff. And that's okay. I'll find the hype again. Okay. That's fine. We'll get back into it. I'll do the intro. Okay. Anyways, as I was saying, even though I was muted, I am happy to be here with you. We're back here doing assembly where we code a AI bot together. I had said that we're coming to the end. This is pretty much, we're getting to the last end of this project because the AI Arena ladder, and you know what? A good thing someone said something because I would have probably done this whole thing and not noticed. But the AI Arena micro ladder, this version of it is being retired. So yeah, there is a level of which this bot will be the last one in this iteration. So we're gonna be coming close to an end of this. So anyways, let's talk about what we're doing and why we're doing it. We're going to be doing some mob programming. And so mob programming essentially involves, let's see if I can get this ready. Okay, so how does mob programming work? So mob programming is essentially, we got three roles. The driver, was it the work on the new map for it though seems to be going well. Yeah, they're changing up maps. Okay, so the driver, navigator, and mob. Driver does all the coding. The navigator keeps a high level and kind of directs where we're going, and then the mob helps feed to the navigator and just overviews and reviews the code. So you have like, before anything goes into the code, it's passed through several minds and then goes into it. And we're all kind of coding together. And some key benefits of something like this was like, you'd be like, why would we do it? So it increases code quality because you get a lot of different minds. Yeah, my mic did change up. So increased code quality, it levels you up. So increases code quality because there's a lot of people who are working. There's a couple of hands who are working on it, and there's a lot of hands working together on the project, and so you get better ideas because you get people working together, and so it also, we get paired together. So I'm not the best coder in the world by any means stretch of the imagination, but we have other people who can help teach me, and then I can maybe teach them, and we can get to share ideas moving around, so we level up each other. And then we have sort of a shared code base. So there's no need for us, if we're in a team, to have to get up to speed, right? It really kind of lowers down those barriers, and we're able to kind of understand the code base together because we all kind of get our hands on it. And then there's no need for code review. You might understand if you want to do like an iteration of coding every 15 minutes or whatever, do you want to commit after you've done some, test and then commit, whatever. No need to do it. I mean, then you want to have like a code review to make sure what you have is done. Here we kind of have the code review happening like live. When you're typing it, someone's like, oh, maybe you want to structure this, you might want to refactor this after you're done, X, Y, and Z. So there's not really necessarily a need for code review. So these are kind of the benefits we have for mob programming. So the rules. The driver's only one coding, so no multi-coding. Navigator kind of does like the review, so no need. I probably can remove that. Navigator, no micromanaging. So you don't want the navigator to essentially be telling you what exactly to type from the driver's perspective. You kind of want the navigator to give you an overview of what we're trying to do, and then the driver will kind of type it out. But you don't want the navigator to say, hey, type this, type that. You don't want that. You want them to you want the driver to make their own little mistakes. And then if they see it, and they ask you, obviously give some help. this also goes for the mob. It's not backseat coding. Ideas, suggestions. Obviously, if there is a problem and you see something, you have to like say it, but you want people to also make their own mistakes so that we can all learn. 15-minute rotations. So this one's pretty good. If rotate, driver, navigator, 15-minute rotations. 10-minute breaks. We actually been really bad at this, mainly because I get really caught up in the coding, but I really should, and I definitely should insist that we do take at least a little 10-minute break to kind of just chill and, just not have to just be overblown. And then working code. This is like a personal rule where I don't like to leave the session without having working code. So whatever it means that we had done, if it's broken, then we need to reverse it or at least comment it out so that we at least leave with working code so we don't spend the next session figuring out what's going on. So if we implement something and it doesn't work, comment it out until the next session to work on it. And then no judgments. This is the one I don't think we have a lot of problems with yet, but if someone's not that good or they're not that fast or whatever, and they're not maybe understanding certain concepts, we're not here to judge each other. We're not here to break each other down. We're here to lift each other up. And that is just, these are the ground rules. You just want to make sure you're helping people out. If there is a particular problem that we need to focus on, we can work and problem solve the problem together without tearing down each other. That's it. So those are our rules. And then if you want to join, if you're in the mob and you want to, oh, there's like a big white line at the top. If you want in the mob and you want to get in there, exclamation mark join/join. Right now I kind of have like a beta version of what I'm hoping my membership will look like. My whole goal is that we built like a team together to work on bot projects. Part of that membership is being in like these events that I'm hoping to build out. And as they build out, I'm hoping you'll join me. Bigger and bigger bot making projects. So, okay, so let me see if any of our regulars join. If not, they will jump in later. And if not, we'll have a coding session together by ourselves. We don't have a lot of stuff going on. So, okay, so it's just me today. I did ping Dog Tato and Mimey. Maybe they might join us later. Maybe they might not. Did I still? Oh. Okay, so I sent them a message. They might be a little bit late. They might not. So we'll just get started together. You and I will keep our timer out. Let's get straight into the code. Oh, actually, I don't need that. My little presentation's still up. We don't really need that anymore. But since it's already up, I want to go to aiarena.net. This is a good time to go check on our bot since I already have this open. So let's take a look at our bot. Let's see how it's been doing. If you remember correctly, we had our bot up there and it was crashing a lot. So it's been a week since we got it uploaded. I actually don't remember where this bot is. Oh, here it is, Angler. Okay, we got some wins in here. This is fun. We got some wins. We got some bot wins going on. And we have some losses. So it looks like we got some crashes. Right here, against a move bot, there's a crash. I'm guessing we still have the same victory crash. I'm guessing. So we'll go we'll look into that. There's another crash here. So let's take a look at this crash. So we'll take a look at this crash today. So that's one crash. Maybe just download the logs too, just in case. There is another crash against Dorizo bot. Let's take a look at that one and then download the logs. Let's take a look. Oh, there's a win against. Actually, I think we've already beaten Jiraka. So let's look at a really good win because we want some motivation, obviously, to. You want some motivation. We don't want all the losses and be. Oh, we won against Micro Hydra. So let's see how that goes. How did Micro Hydra do? What else is a good win? Is there a good W in here? And I'm just basing it off of what I see in the points. Oh, there's a win against Oops. Oops is one of the top bots made by Rasper himself. This could be a good game to watch. It's a tie here. I'm not really sure what that's all about. Jaraka again. Okay, let's watch Cognite. Cognite's the #1 bot, so let's see where we stand with him. Let's see what happened to our. So Nani Z is my other bot, and we lost against it. So I'd be curious to know what happened with Nani Z. Okay, so where did we end up in the actual ladder? Let's see how we did in the ladder. Okay, we're at 10th. I actually don't remember where we were before, but it looks like we had a huge jump in ELO. Look at that. We had a huge jump. Look at that. Can you guys see it? Let me make sure you guys can see it. Yeah, we had this really large jump. Look at that. We're kind of like here at the bottom. This looks like this is actually last week. So this is where we were last week, was here. 1500 ELO. And then we went up to about 1700 ELO. And then we've kind of hovered around 1700 since. So we went up 200 ELO in 1 week. So that, I think, is a huge success. I think it's easy to see that most of our losses, or some of these losses, came from crashes. So we could certainly do a lot better ELO wise. And let's take a look at some of these games. I think it's okay to get some music going again. I actually don't like this song. A little too slow for me. I want to kind of get a little bit of energy going. What about this? What's this? It's a little slower too. I just want to get a little bit of like, I don't know, I'm kind of in a really good mood. Oh, I like the song. Let's do this one. Okay. There we go. Let's watch some of these replays. Let's start off with Nanny. Let's see how Nanny did. We don't really need. Let's see if this loads up. Oh, it's loading up. What's this? I got a. It's downloading this version of the game. Do you guys not hear the music? Yeah, there's definitely music in the background. Maybe it's low. Maybe it's too low. It should definitely be coming through though. Okay. Well, let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this replay. So this is against Nani. Nani is my old bot. So let's see Angler versus Nani. So Angler is getting ready. This should actually really give Nani a lot of problems. This strategy. Oh, Nani went. I see. Nani went high. This should actually do a lot of damage to Nani. How come? What happened here? Oh, I see. Oh, you're so tricky, Nani. You're so tricky. Oh. Yeah. Man, that was such a good strategy I built. I really like that strategy. That bot was so smart. I liked it. Anyways, it worked. That's why. I mean, I guess we could have probably just prioritized the pylon. Maybe that's worth looking into. I'm gonna actually write it down. We should actually make sure we return back to the pylon, because that is something that is So actually, I have a victory assessment. Actually, I have a note here. Victory assessment. If the amount of DPS available greater than the amount of pylon's health versus the DPS of the enemy's pylon, return back to the pylon. So we could code out a an entire thing around like checking when to return to the pylon. Yeah, you know what? I didn't really think about that. Let's actually make sure this song is actually might be getting a bit too loud. Just make sure it's not too loud for even me. I like this song, but I also like to think. Okay, so that's something worth noting. Returning back to the pylon, and I don't know. Like again, the new map is already in preseason, so I don't think we're gonna have enough time to implement that. But it's something worth thinking about. I almost want to save the energy for the new maps. Okay, let's see the next replay. Cognite or Cogbite. Take health into account, so don't stop if you would kill the pylon before the so that is what my notes say. In my notes there is like this idea of a system of calculating when to return to the pylon versus when to make the decision to return to the pylon versus when to stay and fight. And so that might be a more involved aspect, but let's see what we can. So Angler again up against Cogbite. Let's see what happens here against Cogbite. So Angler takes up position. Cogbite comes in. Angler gets a few shots off. Okay. That is rough. That's very rough. I mean, that wasn't even too bad, but it's like not ideal. Because like we could all see, like, look how much they got on like this. Terran is so hard here. Terran is tough because can we do vision? Can I see your vision? Because if we had these Marines hide into the shadow of this thing right here, which is the initial plan. That was the initial idea, was to have the zealots essentially hug this thing. Turned out to be a little harder than I had initially thought. But like ideally, like, okay, what if we had, like, the idea was to have them right up against here. So let's say the initial idea was to have that the units hid in the difficult to see I mean, this is still very possible, right? Because if we did actually adjust the zealots to be a little bit closer to this thing in the middle, even just a little bit closer, because what I wanted initially was the zealots to essentially to close the gap on the range of the if you have Marines coming, they have to get they get a little closer before they know you're there. And I'm still fairly confident that's still a good idea, but as we're seeing here is that the zealots are a little farther than, which is ideal. See, the zealots are here. And the reason why we started that far is because I think they just took a long time to get into position. But if we can maybe we'll close the gap by increasing the X coordinates here so that they're much closer. And we'll try that again. So this works because, like, if the zealots are here in the shadow of this, and like these Marines are coming, if they arrive right around here, like if they arrive around here, then the zealots are like right on top of them. So, you know what? It's worth trying. So I'm gonna make a little bit of note. Increase the X coordinates of the zealots. Okay, that's that. Next. Let's see how we did against Oops. Hey, Pablo. And then, okay, so this is us against Oops. Oops, created by Rasper. So this is interesting. Oops is set up in his formation. They're not moving, we're not moving. Though I think that we will automatically move in a few minutes. Yep, there we go. Oh, okay. So we got some free shots off of them. Ah. That's good. That was really, really good. That was a good fight. A really good fight. I like that one. That was a good fight. Now, strategically, that wasn't very ideal because, yes, we engaged. I wonder if it would be best that instead of going to engage, we just send the stalkers by themselves and try to bait the opponent back to us, rather than sending the whole in the entire enforcement. I feel like that would have been better. You know, you send the stalkers. If they're not being engaged, send the stalkers, and the stalkers go and start pulling the enemy to the zealots. I like that idea. It's too bad it's a little late. We're not going to be able to implement that, I think, this time around, but that would have been a good idea to play with. Okay, what's next? That's how I would have done it. If there was more time, that's how I would have done it. And what I would probably have done, how would I have coded that? I would have said, I'd given them a scout roll, and then I would use like a state, would have like maybe change states, and it would be kind of like scout roll, you know. You'd go out there, and then you would attack the enemy, and then you do keep away, and then you would have to then you would switch like keeping safe, and you would run away, but you know, towards the zealots. And oh, okay, look at this, look at that. It worked beautifully. Holy crap. Holy crap, that's so good. That worked perfectly. Holy crap, that worked really, really good. I'd like to see that in their perspective. That worked really good. So they're coming. And they can't see anything. Oh, look at that. And they can't even run around. That was so cool. I like that. I like that a lot. Man, it worked exactly as it was supposed to work. That was so good. I'm gonna watch it again. I just liked it so much. Look at that. That was so cool. That's so cool. I might make a good YouTube short. I might do that. That was cool. I might actually, I'm gonna make a quick note that I might make a good YouTube short. I might, give me a second, everybody. I like that. I'm gonna keep a note. Wow, my notebook is taking a while to open though. And then we're gonna go YouTube. Highlight. I like that. That's actually really cool. What day is today? Today's day 25 or day 26? Today's day 26. Showcasing Joel's strategy against, which bot was that? That was who did we do? A Micro Hydra. That's us against Micro Hydra. Micro Hydra. Okay, cool. Let's make that as a note. That was cool. I liked it. All right, next. And then now we're into the crashes. So these next two replays are crashes. I'm gonna hopefully see what went wrong so we can fix it. Why did our bot crash and how can we fix that crash? All right. Oh, that's it. We just crashed. That's it. Straight at the beginning. Okay, so that's going to require us to go through the log. I don't know. That's a strange crash. But we'll find out. We'll look into it. So that was Drew. And then there's a move bot. So this one might be a different crash. Let's see what this is all about. Let's see why this one crashed. So it says we just crashed. We just logged in and then we crashed. That's disheartening. So these are crashes on startup. So that means we're gonna have to look at the logs. Let's see what the logs say. Can you guys see the logs? You can. Okay, so let's see what happened here. Caught unknown exception encountering floating point overflow. The value of P is too large for this data set. For such a large P, consider special case. I've seen this a couple of times. I actually don't know how to solve this one. So I might have to, I've sent this to Rasper a couple of times, and oh, okay. So let's see what the other log says. If this is also the same. It is the same. I mean, I don't know. I've had like I've been unable to solve this problem so many times. Okay. Let's try giving this to Codium. Let's see if it, oh, let me get rid of this. You guys don't need to see. We can take down the screen so get to the code. Okay, so let's ask Codium and be like, Codium. A lot of my stuff is in the way. Can I maybe put Codium in the main window? How do I do that? What does Control Enter do? Oh, I just did something else. Uh-oh. I guess that switches my scenes. I should be mindful. Oh, I can open a new window? Oh, but then you guys can't see that window if I do that. Can I put it in the... Okay, good. You can. Okay. No, it doesn't say what line it's on. So it gives it like it. Okay, it does tell you what line it's on, but I think it's talking about inside the actual framework. So let's say, can you look at this log error and tell me where this might be causing problems? Error indicates that there's a floating point overflowing query ballpoint method, a KD tree class of this Skippy spiral module. This method is called in the units in range method. Could my units in range be going off? The error is caused by the value P being too large of the data set. The P in the query ballpoint method is the power of Minsky's metric to use the distance. To fix this error, you can try making P smaller or something P to the M. Suggesting the error. However, this may affect the accuracy distance calculations. Alternatively, you can try to identify the cause of the large P and fix it. In this case, the large P seems to be coming from the distance parameter in the get units in range method, which is set to 15. Maybe that's too large. Okay. Ah, here we go. What do we have here? So to do change sensitive of how close the scout gets before switching get units in range. Do I have that in range? Is this active? So I have one for pylon, which checks if there's any units in range around the pylon. So that's one. Get units in range. Good question. Well, okay, so let's do an inventory of all the gets units of range. So we have gets units in range, which is here, getting close ground units. So here's where there's 15. This one might, so there's a get units in range 15. That might actually, you know what? That might actually be too large. We could adjust this. Is there a commonality in the two replays? Being that they are on the same map? Is it the same map? The two, no. So the first one is Plateau Micro. So okay, the map's not map specific. So we do have 15 here. And yeah, actually yes, Shadow, I would be probably calling it on step 1. because this method, if self pylon, so this is checking if I have a pylon. If I have a pylon, it checks if there's units in the range of that pylon. And it checks for units that are not in the memory of. I'm filtering out here in this, make sure units not in memory. So this is on step. Is this on step? This is on step. Yeah, this is all on step. So on step, I mean, I could also do a. No, I shouldn't. I wouldn't. I was like, I should do a print, but then that wouldn't work. It's weird though. It happens sometimes, but it doesn't happen all the times. So this is only checking 8 squares. So this says get units in range, 8 squares. But the other one is really large. So maybe we can start off by bringing this one down. So let's say like maybe 8. No, let's go to 10. No. 5. Okay, let's just go to 8. Like, how bad could 8 be? Let's make sure it runs. So I think maybe delay if a few steps, if possible, could also be something like this, trying to check a negative position if the pylon is too close to the edge of the map. That is really insightful. I think that is true. What might be the best way to do that? I actually like that suggestion, Shadow Lord Alpha, because it's very possible that checking for the pylon it's correct. It's probably because it could be because it's, or it even could be that the units are too close to the map. Let's actually, I'll go back there and check when are we calling the gets units in range, because maybe the units are checking if there's get units on range too. So these guys are still working. Everything's good. That's good. That's good. Did we win? I wasn't paying attention. Yes. Okay. That was weird. Anyways. So we have get units in range here. Check the change incentive of how close the scouts get before switching roles. Oh, that was for my scouts specifically. So we say if there's a pylon, check around the units, or check around the pylon. And if there's an enemy around it, turn on to defense mode. If there's not, she kind of wants you to print this. So could I put this in my delayed start? Because I have a delayed start. The delayed start only runs once, so we don't want that. I could also put this in the, I could actually say so this is if not self-delayed. Could I put this in delayed start? So if this is if not, but then I could be like if self-delayed. Because this doesn't run. Sorry, so this runs. How does this run again? So this delayed start runs. When do we run this delayed start? Okay, so I feel like we could probably put it in, because this delayed start runs once, then it trips and sets delayed start to true. No, that wouldn't work. No, that wouldn't work, unfortunately. Because it just runs once, and then it's done. Yeah, because if it goes once, then it's done. That's not what we want. I mean, like, ideally, if game loop equals 0. Oh, okay, I could run it. Could I do that? I've never used game loop. Let's see what, okay, let's go down to the self.pylon. Defense mode. What did I call it again? Defense mode. Here we go. How do I can I add like a bookmark? Here we go. Call this bookmark, pylon defense. So I jump around here. I should have been sending those earlier. Okay. So I'm gonna run a little test. It could be like, if game, what is it? Is it just game loop? Is that how it works? Or is it self.game info? Is there a game loop thing? I could just quickly ask a little AI. Is there something to check or game step? Is it game step or game loop? Might be step. Check what step. Should be part of observation. Is that game? What is that? Game? Is that still self.game info? Self.game. Oh. Is it game data? Loop? Nope. Step? Is there a way to check what the step the game? Question mark. Oh, iteration. Oh, you could, but like iteration. Oh, self.state_game underscore loop. Self.state.game underscore loop. Maybe do that if iteration greater than 10. I mean, maybe. Let's try this. You know, just go be like, and you know, I could have also done if time too. I could have been like, let's see. And then we could maybe, I'd actually like that print statement. Let's kind of see how the iterations work. I'd be curious. Then let's yeah, let's see how this works. As if we go Is that so? Your Shadow Alpha said this could work. It'll run every step after 10. Okay, so I think that sounds good. Let's just double. I should have put a print statement inside it so I know that it. Okay, it's fine. Let's just double check and see when iteration 10 happens. In game time wise, I could have also done game time as well. I could have been like if game time was over, but iteration seems a little bit more healthy. So let's do iteration. Oh yeah, okay. So that seems to be working. Yeah, there's like a crap ton of iterations. I like barely even blinked. Why did it change to defense though? Or is that something else? Oh, that's something else. Okay. Yeah, so looks like it starts counting after step 4. 4, 6, 8, 10. It's like every 2 steps. Oh yes, it's set to every 2 steps. So 4, 6, 8, 10. So after 10. Okay. So if self-pilot and iterations after 10, then start doing it. So that should hopefully keep it out of range from having nothing being in range. Okay, I feel kind of hot. I feel good with that solution. If you guys feel good with that solution, I am not too picky. I think that seems like a pretty. I feel that's good. I think that works. Okay, so I'm willing to say that is a complete. I'll check off that. I think that will. I think we'll put it away and check next week. And call that. I'm gonna say that's a done goal. I don't know if my goals are showing up. Are my goals showing up? Oh, are my goals not showing up? The goals are are not showing up on the. Oh, I know it. Okay, I know how to fix that. Give me a second. I'm gonna make sure my goals for the stream are up so that we can see it. Where did I put that again? Most of the strange issues like that I have run into with the Java API seem to be almost always caused by running the method on step 1 for some reason or another. So we should, yeah, I actually think it might be the range of, because I was looking at a range of 15, but I think that also making sure it doesn't start on step 1 probably is pretty good too. Like, especially it doesn't need to run on step 1. So like it doesn't hurt. So there's no reason not to have it start a little bit later. Okay. Just need to make sure that we have our goals. There we go. Goals. Okay. So I think we're good. I think this, I feel comfortable and good with that. So the next thing we got to work on is move the guys to the second site blocker. So this actually might take a little bit more time. So let's go to site blockers. You have a bunch of success with that range, so it's unlikely to be that. You would have been more likely if it was always that map with, that's a good point. It's a little weird because there isn't any consistency. Actually, maybe we should pull up the crash. Can I do that? Let's pull up the let's see if we can see something. I really shouldn't get myself too distracted because I kind of want to make sure we get something in here, but I'm curious if we can go through some of these crashes. Just a quick glance. Is this Angler? It is. Okay. So that's not us. That's us that's them crashing, but we winning. Okay, so it's Cat Rock Arena. We crash here. Against Cat Rock Arena. We crashed. That's not us. That's someone else crashing. Crashed against Oh No No. Does not say what map it is. Crashed against A Move Bot. Again. These are all around the start. So I'm going to say these are also starts. We crashed against Kiss. We crashed against, and it doesn't seem like there's any. You know, let's just pull out the logs. We'll pull out a log on this one. Pull out a log on this one. We'll pull out a log on this one. And then we can see quickly if there is any sort of consistency. What map is this? So Plateau Micro Arena. What's the next one? Bot mic. Yeah, there's no consistency. It doesn't matter which yeah, it doesn't seem to. I thought it was gonna be. It's definitely not map specific. Let's see the last one. Yeah, Plateau Micro Arena. So it just seems to be. Yeah. Yeah. There's no consistency. So I think just leaving, I think the iteration, we'll try that. Take a look again, see what happens. Okay. So that's that crash. We'll consider that dealt with for today. What else? What else do we gotta work on? Okay, so let's go over to melee. Let's work backwards. That's checking if melee shields. Okay, I'm gonna put like a little bookmark here, and we'll call this like unit control. So we can come back here. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Should help us move around a bit more. Oh, I still have this browser in front of you guys. I'm so sorry. That's still bouncing around there. Okay, browser gone. That's okay. All I did was put like a bookmark anyways. Okay, so so right now, actually, what we do is we control. Is it site? Is it site blockers? Where's the site blockers? Okay, so here's the vision blockers right here. So we have this is where we get the vision blockers. And then we sort them. The first 4. So we sort them. Sort vision blockers by their distance to the starting position. That means, could we then do the next 4? Sort vision blockers by their distance of the starting position. And then, so where do we assign this? Just double check. So we call it on this map, which is bot. We obviously call this on bot micro arena. We run it. We then use, yeah. So the stalkers, depending on which part of the map, is when they decide to where they're gonna go. So what we'll have to do is we'll have to modify where they go. We'll create a trigger. So we'll create a new method that after a certain amount of elapsed time, it's like a flag. So a new flag is given. So let's talk about what our flags are up here. So we have launch late attack, which is So launch late attack false. When did we make late attack true? Here. Okay, so it's like after 30 seconds, launch late attack. Let's actually increase that by 10 seconds. Launch late attack is true. So this essentially says if combat hasn't started and self time is over 30 seconds, launch late attack. Let's increase that by 10 seconds. So let's say 40 seconds. And then we'll say if combat hasn't started and at the 20-second mark. Oh, wait, do we have one of this? So okay, so this is how we do it. So we're like, oh, if BMA. So like if the map is BMA. So we're like, okay. Okay, then we're going else if self-defense mode and self-pylon. Okay, this is where we're controlling the target. I'll actually make this here. Controlling targets. Set coordinates of army to go around if late lane test true on PM. I think what would be maybe what we're going to do because if not self-melee combat started. Okay, let's go back up then. Let's set a flag. And then we'll call this flag second phase. What is delayed? What is this? What is this doing? Maybe I'll use this. What is delayed? Oh, that's for delayed start. Okay, let's go. And then let's go self dot second phase. Second phase. Self dot second phase equals false. So we'll have launch late attack. I don't have a full attack, right? I do have a full attack. Okay. Go back to flags. We'll call the second phase attack. No, second phase position. Second phase position. And so we'll second phase position. We'll then go back to the targets. Controlling targets. And so let's see how this works in the because we're gonna be like, okay. Actually, why think through this logic? Why don't I just use an AI? Why would I think through this logic? Why don't I just use the AI to help me think through this logic instead of racking my brain? And I just tell it what I want it to do and see how it responds. And then if I don't like what it says, I'll just make my own. Can I actually want to bring it back over here? I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see it. I'll turn off the timer so that you can see what's going on in the Codium chat. So we're actually gonna turn off the timer because I don't think Remind me will be joining me today. Sorry, I got a message about Probots and that caught my attention, but I cannot answer that question right now. Oh man, I just had this brain fart. Okay, I was turning off the timer. Sorry, the question threw me for a loop. So I shouldn't have Discord open when I'm trying to code. Okay. So I'll just tell it what I want to do and see what it says. Does it take this into context if the highlighted part? I want to use... I want to add an additional condition where, what was my variable for a flag? If the game, if self.melee combat started, if not combat self melee started. Oh, you guys can't see my actual typing? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I'll talk out what I'm thinking. If not, and self.time is greater than 20 seconds, but less than 40 seconds? Yeah. Greater than 20 seconds, but less than 40? Yeah, so like greater than 20 seconds, but less than 40 seconds. We do what? We set self dot second phase. What did I call this thing again? Where are my flags? Second phase position. Second phase position to true. And then I pass the other, what would we call this? The other, where is it? Sight blockers, vision blockers. Past the four furthest from sorted blockers. Okay, what would that look like? If not self-melee, that's obviously true. Then self-defense position equals sorted blockers. I guess that's simple enough, but for some reason in my mind, I thought it would have been a little bit harder. Okay, let's set the, for some reason I thought it would have been a little bit more than just that. Because I just don't want it to interfere with the logic of what we're doing. Okay, well, I guess it's worth testing. If it was that simple, I would have just typed it out. But in my mind, I just thought to myself, man, that there's a lot in here, this logic. Okay. This is like, if not, no, there's something where, no, there's something here because it's gonna, if not thing. It's like, if not melee combat started to die. Actually, maybe it should be else if here. Maybe I'll put it as else if. Yeah. See, I think it missed some of that because it has to be an else if, so it can go here. So maybe I'll put it in here and put it as an else if. So this should probably be an else if. This is not right. This would be, so self dot, I'll fix that in a sec. So this is actually would be self dot current. Actually, before I do this, I need to make sure I should actually commit our other thing so I don't. So before I do this, because I don't want to mess this up, let's commit the pylon added pylon delay after 10 iterations adjusted. So just like crash fix and adjusted range on checking for enemies on ranged units. Okay, let's add that. I'll commit that. That's fine. Okay, now let's bring this back. Just okay. And then we're like, okay, self dot current target equals we'll have to set that one for that, and then we'll say self dot current target range. We'll want to change I'm assuming we set the sight blockers, so it's going to be vision blockers, so it's sorted. So we take the sorted blockers, and then we say self defense position sorted blockers 4. So we sorted it based on there. So we could then say self-defense position. Is this done once? No, this is done once. We could change it. Why don't we do this? Why don't we just actually assign this, and then we'll change this instead of making this more complicated. So assign assigning vision blocker position. And so what we'll actually do, we can go something like this. Then we'll be like, instead of putting it in the actual method down there, we could actually say where do we send the stalkers? Where do the stalkers get their defense position? It's maybe easier to just put the stalkers in here too. Stalkers are set separately. Man, this code needs a good refactoring. But that's not going to happen, so that's okay. Okay, let's just figure this part out. So we'll say If self, So what I was gonna do is set the actual conditions up here for when how self.defense is assigned the blockers, but that actually is just going to replicate what's down there, because if I'm checking for the time here, I guess maybe I'll just do it here. This might be the quick and dirty solution. It's not the cleanest logic, but so I go to self.defense. Oh, but then I'd have to pass it down here. Because this is actually a local. That's why it might be better to do it here. Or I could just pass it. I could just pass sorted, or I could just make it self.sorted blockers. If I just made it self.sorted blocker, I guess there's nothing lost by doing that. I just go self.sorted blockers, self.sorted blockers, and then, I mean, I guess I didn't really declare it anywhere. I mean, I guess there's no necessarily a downside. So if I went like here and then I went self.sorted blockers, it should be fine. And then go down here and go like self.sorted blockers. No, this interferes. This creates a situation because then I'm just changing back and forth what this is. Is this assigned just once? When do I... this is assigned just once. So maybe it's okay. Because it's only assigned once during the startup. Which I guess could be problematic if I am doing it every step. But you know what? Actually, that's true, because then this will self.melee combat started will release it. So if we go like self.sorted blockers is now 4 to 8. I think that should be fine. And then actually we'll put this defense position. What happened here? Actually, I don't have to go. I don't even have to go as far. I can just go like this and go. So current target equals that. I don't need this. A little redundant. So then we have to set up where there's the range to go. Maybe this logic's not as I had hoped. Because I don't maybe need a sec. I don't need this flag. This flag is maybe a little redundant because it's already triggered if yeah, maybe I don't need this flag. Okay. I will keep it for now. No. Let's try to clean it up, I guess. Where should the range be? How is range set? So now, right now, range is based on whether it's starting on the left and the right. We could just add a... They're also just assigned the defense position just once. Okay, let's actually just test it first and find out. Let's see if our logic makes sense first, and then we'll worry about the range. So we'll do one at a time. Let's go to run.py. Then let's use, which bot are we using? So let's turn on defend bot. And then, now what? Should we just run this guy? Let's see what happens. So we've got defend bot there. Okay, let's see what happens. Oh, this probably should have been bot micro arena. Okay. Okay, then what happens? So I don't know if that worked. Probably should have put a print statement. Changing to second phase. Let's see if this triggers first. Should probably put back the sleep timer. It's not my bot. Oh, it is my bot. So that's not firing properly. So it's changing to second phase like all the time. So if not self-combat melee... Oh, hold on. Let's try that. How does this operate? If all things work out, then technically the zealots should actually go up ahead earlier than the stalkers. Oh, geez. What happened there? That's weird. Interesting. Let's bring that a little bit higher. Is it triggering? Come down, please. Okay, what if we said something like, I think my logic is triggering it. Oh. What if I said, so it's if not self melee. Okay, I think I know what happened. So it's going if not. Okay, so it's like if this is not true, it's checking if this is true, but that doesn't make any sense because this is not going to be true because this has not started. And oh, self.time. I see. Oh no. Oh, you can go either which way. You can go like this. I forgot you can do this. So self.time. I forgot I can go that way. Is this? I forgot how this works in Python. So this is actually saying that self.time is less than 20. No, is it saying that self.time is greater than 20? But less than 40? I always get confused when I look at this. I remember that you can do this in Python. I just don't remember how that works. Yeah, okay. I mean, we actually do need to give this something or it probably will crash. So let's just give it its old position for now. And you'll just say self.defense stalker position for now. I should maybe print out the time too, so I know that it's... Okay, it didn't crash. That's good news. Oh, this is not the right window. What am I looking at? Damn it. I didn't get to see. Was there... I did not get to see. Had the wrong window open. Oh. Why the map color's the same? Yeah, no, it's not working. Adding some micro to my bot. Congrats, Pablo. Yeah, something's not working. Okay, let's maybe print a time. Let's print the time. Changing to second phase. It's like oops. Changing the time phase, and it's like self.time. Let's see if it's doing at least 20 seconds after. Maybe 20 seconds is too soon. Maybe it needs to be 30 seconds. Okay. So it looks like it did it after the appropriate 20 seconds. Okay, so we know this works. So after 20 seconds, so 20 seconds is actually a lot. Maybe it's too soon. Okay, that's not really that's not our problem right now. So self.current target. This line sets the current target arbitrary subset assorted blocks, specifically the 5th to 8th elements index 4 to 7 since 0. Maybe I'm missing something here. Self-sorted vision blockers. Maybe I'm not iterating over it properly. Self-defense position. How are the melee handling the vision? Oh, how are melee handling the vision blockers when it comes to it? So for squad and squad, each unit, squad position, melee. If range, blah blah blah. If melee, not combat started. If full attack or self arrive, self map PM. Path group to target. Else if launch full attack. Else, here we go. So we enumerate over self-den. No, this should be right. Oh, I need to use a defense position because that's what's passed through. I do have to use self.defense position because that's what's passed through. I can't just pass it. Okay. I have to use self.defense position. It has to be used. Because that's what's being enumerated over. So let's go back to controlling targets. And then controlling targets. And then we'll say self.target ranged. So then we'll say self.defense position equals, nope, that is not right. And then this self.target equals self.defense position. And that should... that should do it. Let's see. Okay. Aha! It worked! Oh, cool. It worked. Okay. Well, good news. It worked. We did win. That was good. It worked. Good news. It worked. It worked. It worked. It worked. It worked. I guess we need to be mindful that that doesn't trigger on a non-PM map on the that it only triggers on that map. Let's make sure of that. So that's good. What map is that again? Is that PM? Is that PM? That is BMA. So yeah, we need to make sure this only triggers on BMA. We're like, okay. And so we're like, okay. Is there anything else could we combine this with something else that is... Okay, now so we have to go in and self.map equals BMA. That works. We don't need to print this anymore. We know that works. And then we just kind of have to talk about where the stalkers go. How do stalkers get their positions? Is there anything specific for them? They start off with a 0.2. Nothing too magical there. I mean, realistically, if we just added to their 0.2 position by like X amount of points, but as I understand it, it looks like it's starting on the right, starting on the left. So in BMA, so else the map is BMA. So BMA, the position changes. I mean, we'll see this in a second. We'll see what happens. Because we do need the stalkers to move with the... I mean, we can just actually we just copy the same statement and go if XYZ position, XYZ position. So stalker's position is assigned here in self.stalker position. And is that enumerated over, or is that not, or do the stalkers not care? Self.stalker position. I'll just check if they arrive. Okay, you know what we could do? We could actually set a second phase. Okay, I know what we could do. We can already calculate where the second phase should be, and then just essentially go something like this. So we're like, okay, we're just gonna hard code it in, and we'll go like, okay, so stalker position equals there. Then we'll go self dot defense defense. Self dot stalker position 2.2 none. And then we'll say something like, we'll just go like this. We'll go, okay, if it's on X, we'll go like self dot defense stalker position. Yeah, like that. Wait, X, Y. And then we'll go like, oh, yeah, right? Something like this. And then we'll go back to here. Go back to our thing, and then we'll go, oh, if it's here, it's actually the second position now. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. That should be good. I like that. Okay. Now, if this goes well, this should launch. And then if this works, we will call it a day, because that looks pretty good to me. How do I change the map color? That is not the right bot. No. I actually did not get to see. Let's go again. I should actually put the sleep on so I can actually see what's going on. Is that my bot? It is, okay. And then it moves. But these guys didn't move. Okay, so they didn't move. And is there a reason they didn't move? Is it because they didn't... let's go to unit control. So control attacker. So let's say we're in ranged. So for squad and squad. If ranged. Okay, so in ranged. So this is if it's, so if range, and so if this is PM, so that's PM. What about BMA? Uh, okay, so yeah, these guys just get the current target range. Where does this come from? What do you get when we go current target range? What happens? Oh, I see. So maybe I should just no, this is correct. So current target range. This is current target range. Self.defense stock position _2. Is that not correct? Yeah, okay. And then I just said it's this. Okay, I guess I need to print it to see what's going on inside. Then I'm gonna go like, let's say print current target self dot current target range. Let's see what that is. A little convoluted. I feel like I could have simplified some of this, but should have refractored it when it was smaller. Oh well. Next one I'll have a different, I'll change it up differently. Okay. So they changed the 3634, which is correct. Okay. Maybe it's just not enough. Maybe they just need to move to 42. And this needs to move to 46. Well, like, oh, hold on. That actually should go a different direction. It's on the left, so it has to go to the right. And if it's on the right, it has to go to the left. So this number should actually get. Oh, why didn't I just swap? Why didn't I just go? I should just swap. Why didn't I just swap? Why didn't I say? This needs to go to 34. Yeah, why don't I just swap? And I say this needs to go to 38. Yeah. Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. I should just swap it. Now, that should work. They just have to swap positions, really. Oh, that's not even that right window. Okay. I think that worked. I didn't get to see it. I hate this dual window thing. Oh my god, it's so annoying. This is not my bot again. Or is it? Oh, again, I didn't get to see. I should slow it down. Okay, if I don't see it this time, I'll slow it down. Okay. Okay. And then they did it. Okay. It worked. Okay. All right. That was a success. We moved to the second site blocker. So which kind of leaves, what do we have here? Increase the X coordinates of the zealots. Oh, I did that already. Okay, so that's done. And so really it's all that is. So that's one of the ones that if I have time, and then reactivating the scout. So reactivating the scout. I did this, so that's done. So reactivating the scout. All right. Let's save that. No. Okay. Well, I think that's a successful thing. Let's push that, commit that, and say we don't need to have dummy bot. Get rid of the run py changes, and then we'll say what we'll say is added second site blocker phase after 20 seconds of no enemy attack. Okay, let's push it. I think is there anything I'm missing? Am I missing anything? I guess I should maybe run the other map to make sure it doesn't crash on the other map. Let's do that just in case that what we did doesn't interfere with the other map. And if that is all good, we'll call it. So we'll run py, and then we'll say we change the other map side. We actually should keep dummy jumped up to defense bot, back to defense bot, and then we'll comment out that, bring that one back. We'll just double check to make sure. Oh yes, we wanted to move them up a bit. Didn't that we want to do? Increase the X coordinates on PM. We still need to do that. Closer to the center block thing. Okay, no crash so far. That is not our bot. But, you know what, as long as he comes and attacks, it means it didn't crash, so that's kind of what we want, right? Perfect, okay. He didn't crash. I am comfortable with this change. I don't need to Push run PY, no need. That's fine. Push it up. Done. Perfect. Okay. Yes. My microphone's acting up a little weird. Okay, that's fine though. I'll figure it out later. Okay, so that's today. That's this week. That's this week's assembly. Got some good stuff done. So today we were able to fix the crashes. We also, what else did we do? We moved to the second site blocker. And then next week we will just maybe tweak the closeness of it, and then we'll reactivate the scout method, and the spot will be finished. That's it. So next week might be the last week when it comes to this. Yeah. So the next bot will be Terran, that's for sure. So if you have suggestions on what our next... Oh, so next week will be Terran. December, we will probably be previewing the new maps and start talking about what the next sessions will look like in terms of what the new maps look like and what we will be doing on them for the next set of projects. But yeah, that's it. So hopefully you guys had a good time. Hopefully we were able to code together. I had a good time. I always love when we get something done. You guys have been great. And so I will see you next week. We'll check on this bot. Next week we'll see how much, how we did. And if you want to join, you know that thing, exclamation mark, join. Oh, did not work. That bot is dead. Anyways, versusai.net/join. Come on there, become a member. Join us next week here at Assembly. All right. Peace, everybody. Happy coding.